Hello and welcome back. In the previous video, I walked you through on how to create your project using the CLI tool, and we're able to create our project. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through on how to run this project that we have created. We have the backend and the front end. Starting with the backend, we need to run our backend and then interact with it on the front end. So to do that, we are going to use Cartesi CLI. So this is a CLI tool developed in the by the Cartesi community, and with this tool you can easily start running or working on the backend. And to do that, you need to have it installed, and it works alongside with your Docker. So whenever you are making use of Cartesi and CLI, you need to have your Docker up and running. So right now my Docker is running, and to build this backend project, we need to do Cartesi build. So I already did that before because that process normally takes a while, and depending on your network, it can go faster. So the next thing we want to do is to do Cartesi run. So I'm also going to add a flag to it to indicate the epoch duration for when we need to interact with the voucher. So because this is also needed to determine the time it will take for transactions to be settled before it can be finalized. All right, so I'm going to run this command now okay, looks like I made a mistake. So let's see. Oh yeah, so I didn't add the duration. And right now, so the next thing we want to do while that is ongoing, we quickly move on to our front end. So these are directory for the front end, and then for us to be able to run this front end successfully, we also need to install all the necessary packages. So to do that, we can do npm install on yarn. I just prefer to use yarn. I think yarn is kind of faster. So we do yarn, and then once everything goes successfully, we can now do npm run dev. So we wait for that to happen, but in the meantime, we need to create our .env file. So to do that, I just created a file. Now I'm going to paste it here. So this is my .env file. So in that file, you are expected to put in your wallet's connect project ID, because this particular front-end template makes use of WAGMI and RainbowKit and WAGMI, and that to use that package, we need to include the project ID, which we can get this from the Wallet Connect website. Okay, so the next thing we want to do right now, okay, this is still running, so let's check our backend to see if it's completed. Yeah, so the backend is completed right now. It's currently running at this port, this GraphQL endpoints that we'll use to interact, and this is what we use to do inspects to make some requests that is similar to like a GET request, and this is like the explorer, the local explorer that we can use to check our transactions or everything that we are doing. So yeah, this is still installing, so we have to wait for a while for this to complete. Once this is completed, we can now run npm run dev. But in the meantime, let's go back to the backend and run through what we have in the code in the template. So when you come into the backend, the project directory is like this. You see the examples directory, and then you see the index and this rollup. So these rollups consist of the different Cartesi portal contracts and all that, and this is just it. So this is needed most of the time when you have to, even when you are writing your own custom code. And this particular file, some extra code was added to make things easier for you, especially when you want to test. So this is not like it has to be like this all the time. So this code was added as an example for when you want to perform like a CRUD functionality. So basically with this you can do CRUD. We created an example template to send message, to get the messages, which we call greetings, and to also delete or update the greetings. So that's why we added this add route. the basic template that comes if you are not making use of these CartDev templates usually doesn't come along with this file, and it doesn't come along with this as well. So you just have this index.ts file and have all of these inside of it. Well, you don't even get all of this. You just get if you are using Cartesi CLI to generate the templates, you don't get all of this. You just get a very basic template where you have to put in everything you need yourself. See, the front end has finished installing. So the next thing we do is npm run dev. So again, let me take you back to the front end. This item I added in .env file. This particular item is very important because you might run into issues if you don't have it. So you need to go get it from the Wallet Connect website so that you can have the project ID there. So now let's navigate to our project, our front end. So this is loading. We wait for a while for it to finish loading. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we are getting an error here concerning project ID. No project ID found. Every dApp must provide it. So this is exactly what I was talking about. So let's see what's going on. Okay, so basically the project ID, the variable name I used, is not the same as the one in the project. That's why that error was there. So let's refresh. Okay, now we are on our template right now. So this is a basic template with header and footer, and this is the landing page, the first page you see, which you can customize. You can remove these greetings that is here and do whatever you want to do with it, change the colors as you deem fit. Then this is the wallet section that shows you what happens when you're trying to do some wallet interactions or transactions and all that. So that's what the wallet's page does. All right, so the next thing we want to do is to test our CRUD functionality by sending some messages. All right, so now we have 3 messages. I'm going to update Hello Glow to Hello Glory. So this is us testing out the update functionality. After that, we are going to delete one of them and also delete all to call the delete all functions as well. So mind you, as this is happening, we can see what is happening here in the log. You can see the movement of the transactions we are sending. So this is the list of all the greetings that we have, and this is the log of the transactions. So this Hello Glory has been updated. Now we can decide to delete this particular item by clicking on this delete icon. And if we don't want to delete just one, if we want to delete everything, we can click on the delete all. So I kind of like clicked on that particular one twice. That's why it prompted me to sign again. So now let's try out deleting all. So we can click on these delete all messages. So once this goes successfully, we shouldn't have anything left on this page. So right now I've deleted all our messages. We don't have anything left. Now let's move on to the wallet interaction. So here we can test transfer to Ether and withdraw. That's deposit and withdraw. Also the ERC20 and 721. So let's start by depositing some fund. So we are depositing 50 because right now we don't have anything. We check here, you see that we have 0. So once our deposit goes successfully, okay, so let's go back and check. Now we have 50 ethers over there. So for us to withdraw, we need to get the DAP address. So we are going to call this relay address. And mind you, everything we are doing, if we check this place, we'll see it in the log. All the messages we created previously, all those activities are shown here in the notices. So notice is just like a log, showing logs of your activities and all of that. And if there's any error, it appears here under the report. So this one we just did now, if we do refresh, it's going to update and show the 50 deposits and the DAP relay address as well. So let's go back and try to withdraw 20 out of the 50 that we have. Okay, so if we come back here and get balance, we have 30. But right now, this balance, this amount that we just withdrawn is still on the L2. It's not yet in our L1 account. If we come to MetaMask, we notice that we have 9949. So by the time we have successfully withdrawn completely, that amount should update. So to do that, we come to this voucher section and then we execute the voucher once that process is completed. So yeah, we see that we have a voucher that needs to be executed. So if I click on execute voucher and click on this execute, it's going to come here for us to execute the voucher. So once that is done successfully, if we try, you can see successfully withdrawn. If you try to do this again, this is grayed out, we can't execute again. And if we come here, we see that this balance has updated to 9969 because of the 20 that we just transferred, and this still remains 30. So to save time, I won't be going through the others, but the same rule applies to them. So but the difference is to provide the ERC20 address or 721 address and the ID for 721 in case of ID, and this one the amount and the ERC20. So for the purpose of testing, there are some tests tokens that have been created by the Cartesi CLI team. So all you need to do is just to run Cartesi address book, and this is going to give you all the necessary addresses that you will be needing. So for the ERC20 test token, we can make use of this. All you just do is just to copy this particular one, this test token, or if you want to work with NFT, you copy this and try it out over here. So that'll be all for this video. In the next video, I'll be walking us through on how we can set up Cartesify templates and see how we run it. But quickly, before I wrap this up, let me quickly walk you through the project directory for this particular one. So this is the next JS template that we created. Now once you come into the project for the first time, you see this folder, this Cartesi folder. This is organized. This is a folder organized to handle all necessary functions, interactions as it relates to Cartesi. And these functions, especially this has a lot of different endpoints because of the different things we are doing on the templates. But in your own case, you might not need to have all of these. You just need to have what you need. So but this is just here to guide you and so that you know what to use or how the code should be like when you want to use it. So all you just do is to call the function based on the particular method that you need in your own use case. And then this component section, you see this example. So these examples handles all the UI that we have seen so far. on the template. So this is just an example component, which if you don't want, you can delete them and do what you want to do. Or you just do, like I said before, is to call the functions from this portal. This portal is the endpoint, is what you'll be calling most of the time. The portal, the functions that are inside the portal is what you'll be using. And yeah, this is a page, this is an example page as well, the wallet page. So guys, that's it, and I'll see you in the next video.